everybody, Ed here, and I wanted to talk to you briefly, a little bit of a live update as I'm walking the dogs here, about Apple Music and Apple Music's release, and in particular Music One. Now you've got to be asking, what's that got to me as with me as an online business? Why does that have any impact at all? Well, I think it is a fascinating example of doing business and marketing as a product as such a big deal. So here's the thing, a lot of people are saying, oh, big deal, welcome to radio, like Apple are doing the same thing. It's funny because I remember hearing exactly the same thing when the iPhone was released. Oh, big deal, it's just a phone. And as we know, it's changed everything. It's literally 8 years old just the other day as I'm recording this. So what makes Beats One different? One is the experience. It's a global experience, which means that anybody anywhere on the planet could be listening and sharing and talking about it. And I've already seen this with the launch. Now it'll be fascinating to see how it goes as obviously the inverted commas novelty wears off. But I feel very bullish about it. It's not radio as normal because never before have you been able to listen to a radio station globally that has not been a commercial radio station, in the sense that its role was to make money for the owners of that radio station. And of course that meant that DJs were heavily programmed. It means that people paid for positioning, they paid for commercial advertising. So all of a sudden the business model for Beats is already completely different, because it's about Apple devices. This is something that you can access on Apple devices, or indeed Android devices even. This is a music play. We talk about having freemium offers. Well, Beats One is a freemium offer. And what's interesting to me about this, and this is the lesson for online business, is that niche partners, when you think about it, that what are people looking to do here? What are they looking to do? They are curating, right? They are using their expertise, their knowledge of a market to pick music, not influenced by commercialism, not influenced by sponsors, not influenced by payola, like the bad old days of DJ music, being paid to play. They're being influenced by their taste. And as consumers, what's our biggest problem? Our biggest problem is time. We don't have time to keep track of everything. We don't have time to be in front of everything going in our market. Yeah, if we spent all day, we could get all this stuff for free potentially. But you know what? A curator, a tastemaker in a market is somebody who's incredibly valuable in this day and age, because you bring the best content in bite-sized chunks that are available to anybody. Now, doesn't that sound familiar? That's what our job is in all of our niches, or it should be. That curation element cannot be underestimated, because you are surfacing things that are really cool for people. And by surfacing those things, people are ascribing value to you. And this is why it's so important. That's why I think it's such a cool lesson. Now, there's some funny, interesting elements to this. Of course, as I'm listening, and this is another thing, it's experience, smoothness of experience. You cannot underestimate the smoothness of experience. Now, people are saying, well, big deal, Ed, you could do this on Spotify, and you could add and click and, things to tracks. But here it's one tap of 3 dots and bam, it's added to your music library, your actual iTunes music library, which, by the way, hundreds of millions of people have, as opposed to 10 million that Spotify have. So that's really, really cool. However, there is a problem, and this is a overhang, if you will, of the old music industry, which this will undoubtedly disrupt and help, I believe, not disrupt it in a really positive way. So, for example, there are a couple of songs that I was listening to in Zane Lowe's first couple of hours. So I thought, oh, these are really cool. And I tapped on the link to add them to my music, and guess what? I couldn't, because they didn't have that song in my region. He's a global radio station, but it doesn't have the song available in my region. And so I get I can't add it. I can't track this artist. Now, I'm sure Apple will get onto this and fix this, but again, it just shows you, experience is so important. And that goes against what they're trying to do. So I'm loving it at the moment. I don't have time to listen to all the new music, but I love music. I'm passionate about music. I always have been. It's been a big part of my life. And to have the true old style pre-DJ, but then being able to discuss with people around the world, so wherever you are right now, we can be listening to the same song. That community is something that's dreadfully missing, and I think is hugely valuable. You know, I talk about this a lot. For your niche, you know, creating communities in your niche is everything. Tribe building is everything. And so that's why I think Beats is so fascinating, particularly Beats 1 is so fascinating. So there you have it, my thoughts on Apple Music and how it applies to the niche style business that you are creating.